Unbelievable. So I just posed this question to you. I pose this question to everyone watching, either now or later on the internet. What would you have had the media do over the past 2 years when Donald Trump lied throughout the 2016 campaign about his contacts with Russia? Now, why would Donald Trump lie about Russia? Why would the man who was coming in to have the most powerful foreign policy position, the National Security Advisor, General Flynn, why did he lie to the FBI in December about his contacts with Czechoslovakians? Swedes? No. With Russians. And that wasn't even a Russian accent. Somehow the French thing got in there somewhere.
Okay.
Why in January would Mike Pence go on a Sunday show and lie and say, actually, nobody in the Trump campaign ever talked to any Russians during the campaign? Why would he do that when telling the truth would have been so much easier? Why would the Attorney General of the United States, before becoming Attorney General, lie to members of his own Senate about having contacts with the Russians? And let me just stop you right here and ask a question. What should the media have done when everybody, it seems, that was close to the president, everybody that I was told were the president's closest advisors in 2016, everybody who I was told flew on the plane with Trump all across America? What was the press to report on when all of these lies were tumbling out of the mouths of all of these Trump aides? Should we have reported on horse farms in Kentucky? Or done investigations into how maybe eating tree bark would lower our cholesterol? What would you have had us do? And I don't just say this to people on the right who have found common cause with conspiracy theorists over Seth Rich or Sandy Hook. I'm saying this to established journalists who are wringing their hands and saying this is worse than WMD. Is it really? Is that why George Papadopoulos lied to the FBI, got sent to jail? Is that why the National Security Advisor lied?
Yeah, Paul Manafort.
Yeah, and his campaign manager not only got caught lying to the FBI, but after he was in talking to the FBI, got caught lying again. Donald Trump's second in command, behind Paul Manafort, got caught lying to the FBI. And then, when he was delivering his proffer, he got caught lying to the FBI. The man that Donald Trump knew longer than anybody else in politics. You see him on the lower right-hand corner. Yeah, you know, the guy with the Nixon tattoo on his back got caught lying to the FBI. About what? Bowling? Huh? The best places to get sangria in San Diego? No! The Russians. They lied about the Russians nonstop for 2 years. Oh, let's see. Maybe the press, maybe the New York Times, maybe the Washington Post, maybe the Wall Street Journal, maybe they should have just ignored the fact that Don Jr. met with a bunch of Russians who said they were going to give him info, dirt on Hillary, and he said, I love it. Now I go, wait a second, I better contact the FBI because that's what everybody else would have done. He said, I love it. Maybe they should have just ignored the fact that the president called everybody around on Air Force One and concocted a lie. He said, let's say it's about adoption. Now, I just ask, what was the media supposed to do at that point? Shrug it off? No, you know the answer. And just because you're sucking up to Donald Trump, and just because power is all that matters to you, and just because you will justify everything that man does, and just because you are corrupt, just because you're not a journalist, just because you have sold your soul to a personality cult, Don't knock reporters at the New York Times or the Washington Post or the Wall Street Journal or the broadcast networks for doing their job right.
Which they'll continue to do.
Which they will continue to do. So you can keep lying. You can keep saying your misogynistic statements. You can keep saying that Hispanics are breeders or they bring diseases to America. You can keep whipping up theories like the Seth Rich theory. That was great for his family, wasn't it? Way to go. You're lecturing the Washington Post and the New York Times on journalism. And by the way, if you write for these papers, and there's some people I respect that write for these papers that have actually written columns condemning the media's behavior, be ashamed of yourself. Be ashamed of yourself. Were there bad actors? Yeah, and guess what? We know who they are.